Yo, shalom, shalom. You are now tuned into All That R.A.R.A. with your Hebrew brother Milo Judah. And R.A.R.A. stands for Real and Rare Analysis, because I will be telling you the truth. And I know it's going to be rare for a lot of people to hear. And it is what it is. I'm going to analyze certain situations that I feel that brothers my age need to be aware of. We need to be able to critically think. We need to analyze certain situations logically and not emotionally. We need to address everything with rationale. And I created this podcast for you so-called black man because I understand that the so-called black man is the recipient of the most lies. The so-called black man needs proactive advice and not reactive advice. The so-called black man needs to be told about how to avoid a negative situation, instead of being told how to get out of a negative situation. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm just here to help brothers. I'm just here to give my advice. It's on you if you take it or not, brothers. That's really none of my concern, as long as I'm putting it out there for you, brothers. So the first episode is going to be called "We Have to Hold Our Mothers Accountable," because a lot of brothers grew up with dragging mothers. And when the liberal black woman gets older, she tends to omit key factors in her history. And she wants to be treated like a princess and a queen, but no. You have to hold your mother accountable. And I'm not saying be belligerent and disrespectful towards your mother, but just keep it real with yourself. So without further ado, let's get to analyzing, brothers.
I have been listening to some of the craziest mess I have ever heard in my life today. Mom, talk to me. What is going on here?
What's going on from my perspective is that I feel that my girls have been raped by their father.
So, brothers, this is the first thing that we are going to analyze. The sister Yvonne says that from her perspective, she feels that the father of her children raped her children. So, brothers, I just want you to understand that words, they mean a lot. And the two words that she chose sticks out to me a lot: my perspective and the way I feel. So basically, you don't know for a fact, you just feel this way. Brothers, we know how serious the term rape is, and how serious the accusation is, and how detrimental it could be to the so-called black man's life, especially if it's not true. It can truly tear the so-called black man down. He can spend years in prison. By the time he get out, he's old. He's a registered sex offender. And I mean, basically, you just got that stigma on you. Now, the thing is about this video, the further we go into this video, we can clearly see that the sister is a horrible liar. She's a horrible liar. And, we truly have to watch out for things like this. Because, as I said earlier in the video, these are the type of sisters, when they get older, they will omit a lot of their history. If you weren't there, you don't know. So they're not going to bring it up. And basically, they feel as if they're supposed to be treated with chivalry, being the highest of the highest. But no, brothers, no, we hold people accountable. If it's your mother, you should tell her the trauma that she caused to you when you were younger. You should go about it in a respectful way. But to say that the father of your children raped your daughters, oh man, you better have some hard evidence, some concrete evidence.
And they having that difficult time of really knowing the truth.
And y'all are looking like, bitch, you have a difficult time of telling the truth.
Who do you believe was raped?
Whitney and Nicole.
You believe that?
Yes.
So how did you come to that understanding?
When Nicole was 2 and 3 years old, she would go stand by the commode and scream and holler and use the bathroom on herself. And when Whitney was 3 years old, she would hide up under the bed when it was time for him to get off from work. I missed paying attention to what was going on with her because we were married.
So you missed paying attention to what was going on with your daughter because you were married. But she would hide under the bed when it was time for him to get off to come home from work. So she knew what time he got off of work at 3 years old, and she knew to hide under the bed at that exact time daily at 3 years old, knowing when the clock hit this certain time. This story just already is a little sketchy, brothers. It's a little confusing. But hey, let her go off. Let's see what she has to say.
But after the domestic violence that I endured, when I moved out and moved to my own apartment.
So did you endure the domestic violence before or after you moved?
You left him.
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Was it because you...
It was because he beat me down, drugged me across the road, and strangled me. After that incident, during that year, he had called and said he wanted to get the girls.
Okay, so he beat you down, strangled you, dragged you by your hair, raped your daughters, and he still has access to you and your daughters. Brothers, this makes zero sense. It's actually pretty funny because the lies that women would tell, these liberal women, the lies that they would tell, and them actually believing themselves, brothers, anybody who can believe their own lie is a very dangerous person and a person that you want to stay away from. This sister here, she said that her husband beat her up, raped her daughters, and he still had access to them. That makes zero sense.
However, when he came by to get them, he said he just wanted Whitney. And nevertheless, I told him, make sure you bring her back because they have to go to a vocational Bible study. And of course, he was late. But when Whitney came in, I wanted to get her dressed and ready. And then when I pulled her panties down, there was blood. And when I saw the blood, I instantly picked up the phone and dialed 911 and said, their father, he had Whitney, and she was there back at my house with blood in her panties.
Bitch.
And so, what happened then?
Police came and got him and arrested him, and we all went down. So everybody had to be examined.
Your memory may not be your best witness to the truth.
Hey, brothers, I hope you heard that. Ayanla said, your memory seems not to be your best witness in this case, right? Because when you are dealing with liberal women, the things that they say when it comes to looking back at a particular event don't necessarily add up with the event, right? Brothers, how many times have you gotten into I wouldn't even call it an argument, but a little, disagreement with your woman, and she brings up something, and the way she explains the event, the chronological order of events, you just look at her and be like, that is not what happened. So yes, brothers, this is something to watch out with these liberal women. And plus, they will omit certain parts of history or of an event to basically make themselves always look good in a situation and to make the person that they're opposed to look like the person in the wrong in the situation. So brothers, you have to watch out for that. Always protect yourselves, always.
When I start hearing stuff so crazy, like the young people say, I had to go look up the receipts. Some of them from just public records. The other medical reports that I have here do not conclude it was rape or molestation. Did you know that?
Huh? Look at her face, man. Yo, it's so funny to see the so-called black women figure out another so-called black woman's bullshit because the woman can't hide her emotions in her face. Her face is going to tell you exactly what she's thinking. Look at this.
We have one document that it was indicated that what was originally reported to be blood in her panties was actually popsicle stains. Did you know about that?
Yeah.
So you knew about the so-called blood actually being popsicle stains, but you didn't know that the medical reports turned out negative for your daughters being raped. Brothers, how does this add up? How could you possibly know that these are popsicle stains, but no one was raped. You see what I'm saying about how she's a horrible liar? It's not adding up.
If it was popsicle stains, what was the conclusive evidence that this man sexually molested his children?
When I pulled her panties down, I saw blood.
Hey, brothers, anybody who believes their own lie is extremely dangerous. Stay away.
And I took her to the hospital. And a lady came in to examine her, and she took the panties. When we made it back to court, they were similar. They were brand new, and they had Kool-Aid in the seat of them.
Yo, the way this woman lies and how horrible she is at lying, it's a shame. And you can see it all on this sister's face, like, you just gonna lie to me.
I think it was switched.
Then I have a complaint taken out by you against Darcy Moselle Hughes.
Darcy Moselle Hughes, that's the father.
That intentionally caused bodily injury to the child or has sexually abused the children.
Hey.
Read that line right there.
By sleeping in the bed with the child and asking her to open her legs. That would have been Whitney.
But then, help me understand this. I have here to grant custody of Brittany to the plaintiff, her father.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait. So, he raped his daughters, beat you up, and he's still allowed to get custody? Now, come on, brothers. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I do know math. And 1 + 1 = 2. But right here, 1 + 1 is, this shit is equal to 6 or 7. Like, this shit it makes no sense.
So if I'm to understand this, in 1 year, you get a protection order because the man is sleeping in the bed with the children and asking them to open their legs. And then 10 years later, you send her to live with him? I just really need to understand how it is that you've got 3 girls that you believe were sexually molested by their father and you let them go spend time with him.
Same thing I'm thinking, sis. I was born that night, but not last night.
They wanted to spend time with their dad because they felt like I was keeping him from them.
They wanted to go stay with the man that molested them.
And that was something that I didn't want. They were teenagers, and I felt like that they could protect themselves.
No female teenager could protect herself from an adult grown male. So, brothers, this sister is flat out lying. And I am glad that the other sister picked up on it because it's clear. It's clear that her story isn't adding up. And just by her sitting here trying to continue this lie, it shows that she doesn't give a shit about her children. She doesn't give a shit about this person interviewing her. She doesn't care about her time. And we know she doesn't give a shit about that man. So, basically, we're dealing with the person who isn't shit, doesn't care about shit.
Today, we're gonna clean up the infection. We're gonna tell the truth. Mr. Monsell.
Brothers, what do you see when you look at Brother Monsell? I tell you what I see. I see a brother that's tired, broken, fed up, has lived a hard life due to the lie of a woman. Brothers, you gotta protect yourselves, man, at all times.
In your lie detector test, you were asked, did you have any sexual contact with any of your 3 daughters? You said no. And the lie detector said there was no deception.
Yes, thank God.
How does that feel for you? And that your daughters know it.
Well, I felt they always did know it.
You felt they always did know it.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't speak it because?
They didn't know no better. They wasn't told no different.
Hey, look at her face. She look pissed off. It's like, I know this nigga ain't catch me in a lie. Hey, brother, Sirach 25:17, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. She was looking all happy-go-lucky in the previous video. Now she looks a little mad.
Miss Yvonne took a lie detector test and said, did you make up or exaggerate any stories with the intention to harm Monzel? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive.
Hey, look how he looking at her. Like, you MF'er. But truth be told, brother, she didn't have to tell me that the results came back deceptive. That was obvious if his results didn't come back deceptive. So what does that mean? This sister flat out lied on this man and said he raped their daughters. Straight up ruined this man's life, brothers.
Then he asked you, did you say something to the effect of, I'm going to make sure you're never happy again? She responded no, and the answer was deceptive. So Miss Yvonne has acknowledged that her story about you touching your children in a sexual way was not true.
What else is she going to do?
So Miss Yvonne, is there anything that you wanted to say to Mr. Monzel?
Why didn't you fight for him harder?
Whoa. Brothers, did you hear that? A person who will lie to their self and believe it and lie to you is very dangerous. Did you hear the question she just asked? Why didn't you fight for them harder? What could he have told her to convince her that the lie in her head that she believed was false?
If you knew you
Excuse
didn't
me.
do it.
And what is it that he could have said that would have made you not believe the lie you were telling?
See, that's same thing I'm thinking. I like this sister. Same thing I'm thinking. How could he convince you that the lie in your head is false when you made it up? This sister is a liar. Brothers, this is a dragon in her latter days trying to turn into something beautiful. Well, trying to give the appearance that she's something beautiful, but truly it's a dragon underneath that epidermis. This sister is wicked as hell. Wicked as hell. And some of you brothers have mothers like this, and you try to defend that wickedness. No, bruh. No. Those who I love, as many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. Brother, tell that to your mother. Tell that to your grandmother. Tell that to your auntie who tries to act like they are holier than thou nowadays, but they have a horrible history. Tell that to them. Repent.
Miss Yvonne, you told the lie. It was a lie, and you told it. And you gotta own it.
I'm sorry. I need you to say that you did not rape your girls. I need to hear it come out your mouth the way I've always heard it, Ma.
Right. I need you to own up to it publicly the way you lied on this man privately. I need you to own up to it publicly. And just by her daughter saying that shows you that they never got closure. So their mother was willing to allow them to die or allow herself to die with this lie going.
I apologize for accusing you of raping them. Please forgive me.
That has to be the fakest, most disingenuous, non-sincere apology ever. And brothers, it's tough because the scriptures command us to forgive, but it's like, how can I forgive? Me forgiving you is me not knocking you the fuck out.
You don't have to forgive her. You don't have to.
I cannot accept your apology because it's not sincere. Deep down, I know that you didn't believe that. You knew I had no sexual desires for my children. For 25 years, this thing has broken me. You don't know. It has affected my life in ways I can't even count. the things that you did. This is not no game. This is these children's lives. And it's just a demon in you that you need to deal with.
Straight up. It's a demon in her that she needs to deal with. Brothers, there's no wickedness like the wickedness of a woman. Now think about that. Think about how toxic their children can turn out to be because the belief that they had in their father of, wanting a father to be there for us, it's been zapped from us. And the man that, is our first love, we think he raped us. So imagine how toxic her children are and how they treat men. It's a cesspool, brothers. It's a cesspool. But let's go ahead and jump to another episode. Come on.
I have only known this young man 24 hours, and there's no way in the world, just reading his space, that I know he's gonna allow a man to abuse a woman in his presence.
Well, that situation is nuanced. So-called black man, don't you go jumping into other man's business with their woman. You don't know what is going on. You don't know what she has done to that man. And you just may be that simp that jump in and get your ass shot trying to defend a woman. Brothers, no woman is worth getting shot over unless it's your woman and she does exactly what you say, when you say it, how you say it. The rest of these liberal women, no. Brothers, these women have a heavy judgment coming.
She doesn't think about me that way. She doesn't.
Well,
Because I
then
just
you
saw
don't
them
need to
playing
be
basketball and going on dates together.
So what?
and-
Mind your business. You say that you don't see the man that your son is. So I'm asking you, since this is not a demonstration of a man, you need to tell me what man you're using to measure him with. Which one?
My idea.
My idea, meaning I don't have a man. Meaning I wanted my son to be my man, right? And not literally my man, but my do-boy. Seems as if this brother has grown out of being a mama's boy. And truth be told, when you look at him, you can tell that, he has some emotional issues. He can't even look his mother in the face. He always is looking off, brothers. If you notice, every scene when they cut to him, he's not going to be looking his mother in the face. But you can tell there's some emotional trauma there.
Which is your idea. Now, is that the idea you trained him up to be?
No.
Oh. So how in the blazing bejesus are you holding him accountable to a standard that you didn't teach him, his father didn't give him, he don't even know what it is, and yet as his mother, you sit in his face and tell him you don't respect him as a man?
So-called black man, protect your seed, man. These liberal women will destroy your seed, will destroy your seed's confidence, everything. Just off the strength that she's still upset with you, that y'all didn't work out. Protect your seed, brothers. Impregnate the right woman. Take your time with these women. Don't move too fast. Look at this brother. This brother is hurt because of his mother.
Tell me how that works. Help me.
Like I said, it was events. It wasn't just.
I'm talking
And
about
it's
one
also
thing.
how he treats me.
Yeah, but I'm
doesn't
talking.
respect me
Hello.
as a mom, and so-
You see, you are a provocative victim. You provoke stuff, and then when you start being held accountable for it, then you start twisting and turning and making the other person wrong. Look at me, Ma. Look at me. Look at me. You just sat here and told your son, who ain't got a needle in his arm, who I'm assuming pays his own rent. He's married to a registered nurse. He's got 3 baby boys. And you just sat here in his face and said, I don't respect him as a man.
Look, brother, who you married to and what you have doesn't make you a man. How you apply your statutes and morals and your beliefs and how you handle your money, not how much money you get, but how you handle your money and how you guide and direct your woman, that's what makes you a man. This sister has said her idea of a man is what she's trying to put on her son, even though she didn't raise him in that image. How?
And you don't think to consider what that does to his heart, to his soul, to his spirit.
I'm sure that's hurtful.
And you okay with that?
And it's hurtful for the things that he says to
But there
me.
you go, you're doing it. You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now.
Because it's
I'm
like-
holding you accountable and you spinning your web.
I
You're
can't
trying to
say
get away.
nothing when it
You're
comes
trying
to
to get away.
Justin.
Tell me, here's the question. Just answer it. We'll get back to that other
Okay,
stuff later. Tell me.
Forgive me, I respect him. He's a wonderful man.
Another video with a disingenuous apology. Wow.
Do you understand that your mouth, your voice, your words are connected to the coils in his heart, to the valves in his heart? He can't help but love you. And every time you dishonor that love, you chip a piece of him. This is why in our culture as black people, when the boys turn a certain age, the men come and get him and take him away from the mother because she can emotionally manipulate him.
That's right.
But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers.
Sounds like Isaiah 3 and 12, right, brothers? Right. The women rule over us.
Mothers destroy sons. His mother can speak to him in certain ways that destroy him in ways that can never be repaired.
Right. Right. Truth be told, brothers, I don't even think that this brother's mother grasped the magnitude of the things that she says to him. I don't truly think that she gets it. And she says that he's not a man because he's not her idea of a man. But the brother is taking care of his own family, has 3 kids, pays his own bills, is married. Of course, that's according to the testimony that they gave. But even still, just going off of that, it seems as if the brother has his life in the correct path. But the only thing that he can't overcome is wanting his mother's love. Now, check this out, brothers. You love your mother, right? But if your mother is constantly downing you and disrespecting you and emasculating you, brothers, the same way that you would cut your woman off, if it comes down to it, you have to cut your mother off, brothers. I mean, it is what it is. It's crazy that she doesn't understand the magnitude and how ubiquitous the things that she says to him are in his head. So-called black man, protect yourself at all times, brothers, and hold your mothers accountable. Let them know it's okay. Tell them to repent. So, brothers, that was our first analyzation together. I appreciate you, brothers, for tuning in to All That Rah-Rah. And you know how I do it. Yo.
But these prayers close distance. Can I have forgiveness? Father, bring me to my knees. I done fornicated with some broads I didn't need. Had to break their hearts because they didn't want to leave. Gave her good sex, but she left with bad dreams. It's really just pain and the pleasure of your screams. I wasn't with commitment. It left me with some soul ties and spirits of resentment. I'm sick of reminiscing. I want to be changed. Souls of the saints still crying for the slain. Underneath your altar and the throne that you reign. Forget a third eye, I'm just trying to use my brain. I see the holy garments, they could never get a stain. This for the blood of Jesus, never take your name in vain. Father, bring me to my knees. I'm trying to fall down like them color changing leaves. Was blessed to get humbled by them cans of bumblebees. Deceived by my pastor, now it's time for me to read. You're all I'll ever need. Father, bring me to my knees. The middle of the night, waking up, I can't breathe. My Stevens 320 couldn't save me with a beam. The reason why I fail is cause I gotta be redeemed. You're all I'll ever need. Father, bring me to my knees. I'm sorry for the money that I stole in robberies. I can't pay them back, and it always bothers me. I'm sick and tired of this sin, honestly. What would I do if I didn't have you? Tell me, what would I do if I didn't have you?